Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone who is watching this live session. So welcome to the HKUST MBA Live Q&A. I am April, representing the marketing and admission team, and I'm also the assistant director for the MBA programs here at HKUST. So today in this session, I'm very happy to have you all watching these sessions because that means you are really dedicated in putting a brighter future for your own self. And this session tonight, I will be joining with me. I would have two gentlemen joining with me tonight, which is Mr. Christopher Eve, who is the head of MBA Career and Alumni Development, and also Amelia, who is our recent graduate, the class of 2020, who is also currently working in Apple after his MBA journey at HKUST. So just a quick overview as in what we will be covering tonight. So me as the host, I will be giving you an introduction about the MBA program at HKUST. What are the key features of our MBA program? Why you should be studying an MBA at HKUST? And in the second part, I will be inviting Chris, who is representing our career and alumni development team, to share with you the career success and what kind of career training that we have prepared for our full-time MBA students. And of course, another guest for tonight, Amir, he will be very happy to share with you all his journey in Hong Kong and also his job searching technique and also his internship and now currently working as a full-time employee in Apple in Singapore. How's the life in Hong Kong and how's the life in Singapore? So do stay with us for this session and you will definitely be learning a lot from two gentlemen tonight. To quickly start with the session tonight, I just want to let audience online know that MBA at HKUST, we have been named as the Global Top 20 MBA program with other top schools in the Western side, for example, Chicago Both, Kellogg, UC Berkeley, and other schools around the world. We're being a very young business school, but we are very proud that we have been named as the top 20 MBA school for 13 consecutive years. Of course, our reputation actually spans beyond our own MBA program. We're a global top MBA program. We're also the #1 MBA program in Hong Kong. So speaking about our university, it's the University of Hong Kong and Science and Technology. We are a relatively young school, just founded in 1991. But in these 30 years, we have been ranked as the world #1 top young university. And in terms of the employability, we also rank as the number 10 around the world. And also we have been very much favored by the employers around the Greater China area. And that's why we are the #1 university favored by the recruiters in the Greater China area. And of course, some of you who came to know about our UST Business School is because of our conjoined MBA program with Kellogg Business School. This means that this particular arrangement, our MBA students will also be able to learn from the faculty members of this MBA program. So this is definitely a very good news for friends who are keen to upskill themselves in this difficult time during the pandemic time and get yourself prepared and be more competitive. Now I want to share with you why HKUST MBA we're a very proud and also young program. First of all, share with you the placement success. By 2019, our class of 2019, the graduates, we have a very, very encouraging placement result. 91% of them actually received full-time job offer 3 months within the graduation. In terms of job location, while Hong Kong is being the center of Asia, a number of our graduates managed to find a job in Hong Kong. Half of them were employed in Hong Kong after the MBA program, and we have more and more than 50 of the rest of them working in different parts of Asia. For example, China, Southeast Asia. And we also, some of our students, they managed to find jobs outside of the Asia area. They find jobs in Europe, North America, and a lot more places that Chris, as our head of alumni and also career development, he will be sharing a little bit more about how we make this happen in later parts of this session. And to carry on with our placement success, our MBA program is also famous for the fast payback of the tuition fee. Just to share the good news with you, for our class of 2019, the mean annual base salary, meaning that is excluding all the signing bonus and other compensation, we already receive a very good result of $77,000 and $600,000 US dollar annually. So these are the very good numbers and all very good testimony as into how qualified our students is and how competitive we are in the job market. And with this annual base salary, that would translate into 11.6 months of payback period for the tuition fee. It means that less than 1 year, our students is able to recoup the tuition fee paid at the MBA program. And to give you more benchmarking, if you're looking into school in US, for example, Stanford, UC Berkeley, and even Yale, their payback period is relatively longer than MBA at UST. Not to mention that these programs is indeed a 2-year program. That would mean that you would have to forego a larger part of your current salary in order to join the MBA program. And lastly, about the industry change of our MBA program. 78% of our MBA graduates, they change the job industry after our MBA training. And specifically, a lot of them actually join technology, just like Amia, banking and finance, and even consulting companies after our MBA journey. So as I said, Christopher and Amia, they will be sharing a lot more about how they make it happen and what are the career training that MBA at HKUST is providing you. Now, I want to take some time to walk you through, while we're having a good reputation in our MBA program, what kind of MBA curriculum or the academic side of the MBA that we are providing to worldwide audience. First of all, we are a very future-focused MBA. We're not only preparing you for now, but we're preparing you for the future in the 5 years or even 10 years to come. So just look into the World Economic Forum in 2020. They released a report regarding the future of jobs. It already forecast that in a few years' time, more than 50% of us need to reskill ourselves. And what kind of skills that recruiters will be happily looking after? Here is a good summary. The top 10 skills of 2025. Of course, what tops the list will be analytical mindset, complex solving skills, and critical thinking. Leadership skill will be a key element for future leaders as well. And here I also highlighted in orange that you notice that technological use, technology design, and also the understanding of basic programming will be very essential in the few years' time. So that's the reason why in our MBA program at HKUST, starting in 2018, we already introduced the business and technology analytics tracks here for students to gain a deeper understanding into how to integrate business with technology. So allow me to go deeper into our program design. At MBA at HKUST, we're running one of the most flexible and practical MBA curriculum. To be relevant in the job market, all our full-time MBA students, they need to start with 3 important MBA accelerators, which include Python programming, data analysis, and also accounting. When you go through beyond the accelerator page, we are also providing you the essential business foundation courses, spanning across from financial accounting, corporate finance to strategic management. And why I'm particularly highlighting these 2 parts to you, because this is the fixed part. We're talking about a flexible MBA program that allows all the MBA graduates will be able to tailor-make their own MBA journey that fits with their career aspiration. And that's why at the bottom part of this pyramid, you can see that you can actually customize up to 60% of the study plan by taking various courses under the flexible course or even elective option. We have more than 70 electives for you to choose from. We also roll out the credit-bearing pairing series, inviting all our students to take on an internship, consultancy project, and even professional skill set workshop to get prepared for the future job market. And the last part of our flexible MBA program will be about the duration. We are running our program either on a 16-month standard bowl, including summer internship, or for candidates who are keen to join the job market after the MBA program, you can also choose the 12-month accelerated mode. So you will be able to get into the workforce earlier and also reduce your opportunity cost. Now, as I mentioned, we have more than 70 electives of flexible course for our students to choose from. Indeed, all the courses are carefully aligned along 5 most in-demand MBA specialties that include business analytics, consulting, finance, general management, as well as marketing. And of course, we understand every student is coming into an MBA program with their own objectives. We do want to provide the best support to you. And that's why starting from this year, we have introduced 2 important partners for each of our MBA students. Each of our full-time MBA students will be paired up with an academic advisor who will be your first part of support in choosing the suitable courses that are aligned with your MBA career goal. And at the same time, each of you will be also paired up with a dedicated career coach who will be helping you along the way from day one, from goal setting, job searching strategy, all the way in mock interview and even landing your full-time job. They will be here to support you. Now, some of you may be keen to know more about, hey, what is the different MBA program that HKUST is offering? As I briefly mentioned to you that in 2018, we already introduced the business technology and analytics track. So on the screen, you can see that these are some of the course highlights that we are rolling out for our current MBA students. You can take courses along different areas, ranging from big data analytics, cryptocurrency, even artificial intelligence. And we are very happy that HKUST, we are a very collaborative community, even among our faculty members. So these courses, they are indeed co-taught by our faculty members from the Computer and Science Engineering School. All of them are coming with very rich academic profile, and also some of them are about business practice. For example, Professor Thompson Time, he's currently working in IBM as the chief technologist. He will be able to share with our students the most up-to-date job market and what will be the trend or even the application that are very in high demand in the job market. So coming to an MBA program will definitely be the best of both worlds, that you will be able to learn from the world-class academic and also learn from the industry veterans. So just to give you a little bit more idea as in what kind of professional professors that we are having in the MBA program at HKUST. Of course, on the academic front, a lot of our professors are graduated from famous universities from around the world, ranging from University of Southern California, Northwestern University, Duke University, and many more. And at the same time, our faculty members, some of them, what we call, they are from the business practice. We have a number of professors who comes in with a very strong industry background, coming in to share with our students what kind of real life problem that they have been solving in their career and what kind of job market or even crisis they have managed through their career journey. So this is something that coming to an MBA program that you need to make the most out of it by learning from the faculty member and also learn from the professor of business practice. Now here I'm going to take a little break because I have already introduced the academic part of our MBA program to you. So this part, I'm going to invite Chris, who is representing our career and professional development team, to share something with regards to the career support and also the journey of an MBA program that you will be expecting from our career office. So I'll give it over to you, Chris.
Thank you, April. So nice to meet you, everyone. So, my name is Chris. I've been with the MBA Career Office for almost 8 years. So it's an honor to really work with a lot of students, see their success in their MBA journey and afterwards as well. And a lot of students actually, how I see it is they become the top, 10 or to 20% in the global workforce. So I think the MBA, and recently we merged the MBA alumni team into the career team. Together, we believe there will be more synergy in terms of facilitating students to reach out to alumni, and it's proven. Say for example, we have alumni from Singapore, like Ameya tonight, to support you early in the journey to share his experience. On a daily basis, we have a lot of alumni sharing their tips or something you want to learn or you want to avoid in the MBA journey. So first of all, I would like to also talk about how in the career team's perspective, how we see we best support our students. In the first step, April, I'll let you help to proceed on the slide. So basically, we do a little bit of goal setting. April mentioned about the dedicated career coach. Basically, after your onboarding as a student, we have someone from the academics team. When you need to choose courses. There's a lot of technical things, and also you need some advice sometimes on whether if I go for this career track, do I, what kind of course should I take? So we have someone from the academic side, but on the other hand, we have someone from the career team side, because we tend to see how student, the best practice of job search, and we talk to employers on the other side that we can share some tips, how to prepare or even, do some, interview preparation. So that's our goal. And how to do the goal setting with you. We have an internal career coach, and also we have external career coaches from different industry, from consulting, from investment banking, also from, we recently have a coach onboarded from currently who's leading business development at Facebook, and he recently worked at Tencent and other private equity before. So we have people from the good, industry experience to share with you. And also on the preparation side, we have designed different various training, more structured training around major pillars of industry, namely for MBA, banking, finance, consulting, technology, and general management. With this, we have very specific topics. For example, banking, finance. A lot of students want to work in the buy side, for example, portfolio management or private equity investment. So we have extensive training on financial modeling, for example, with training bodies that train actual analysts on Wall Street. And we have on the other side our alumni network, which I just mentioned. We have online network platform, which the same platform is used by top MBA schools like Wharton, Yale. Same platform that will be provided at HKUST, which facilitate your online networking, chatting, setting up coffee chats virtually with people around the globe who are in the alumni community. And we have MBA alumni mentorship program, which you are assigned with a mentor, in Hong Kong to help you to plan your career, basically. So you have multiple support, really. The third one is we aim to provide a good experience in terms of internship. Ameya can share his experience. I think he got a couple of very internship with very good companies in the strategy area in Hong Kong during his time in here. On the other hand, we increasingly, we realized that the first job in Hong Kong, even internship, sometimes there's a hurdle. Sometimes companies might think, okay, there's a cultural fit consideration, or you are competing with other students on the interview process. So we are bringing in more consulting projects with company. We lower the hurdle, bring in more students to get the actual work experience as a credit pairing initiative. So in terms of internship, we have companies like April can click, please. These are just some companies that students recently landed their internship in, some recognizable firms. And on the other hand, we have a good number of companies that provide very good experience as well. You sometimes not just a sizable company, but companies maybe even startup, but provide a very all-rounded entrepreneurship experience to you. Lastly, we have job opportunities. Basically, we on the career team, we have a dedicated units that do, corporate, relationship building, CRM, on a daily basis. At HKUST, we very much like other commercial bodies, we use Salesforce to manage our relationship with customers, namely our employers. And on the other hand, we organize overseas career track before the pandemic. But now this year we are organizing, our overseas consulting project, to still provide students to have their actual experience interacting with business people overseas. And that's something to add to your CV as well. Including, for example, employers, there's some recognizable names like Apple, Microsoft. Ameya tonight is working at Apple, for example. They are one of our corporate partners, and regularly run recruitment events with us. And there are a couple of recognizable brands here, which probably you are familiar with those. Maybe we can swiftly move to the other slides, April.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so thank you so much for Chris for sharing about the preparation for our MBA students. Indeed, a very good news for international candidates will be about the favorable work visa policy in Hong Kong. So in Hong Kong, if you're coming for full-time higher education, or including the MBA program, if you're being a full-time MBA program graduate, you will be able to stay in Hong Kong for 12 months automatically. There's the time is the only limitation to stay in Hong Kong. So you can definitely maximize your opportunities to find job in Hong Kong. Not only, I would say that not only limited to Hong Kong, but Hong Kong being strategically located in the center of Asia, you would have a lot of opportunities to find job even in China or even in Southeast Asia, which is the emerging market in Asia. So this is definitely something that for international candidates, if you're keen to launch your career in Hong Kong, And in Asia, I would say that Hong Kong will be definitely a very good soft landing spot for you all with this favorable work visa policy. So I would just want to continue a little bit on the people that we are looking for. For the MBA at HKUST, you know that what differentiates our program, not only because of the academic side, because of the dedicated career support, but because of the people that is coming to an MBA program that makes a difference, that makes your whole MBA journey memorable and also meaningful. So here I'm giving you a flavor and also an overview of our MBA profile in the recent 3 years. So on average, for these recent years, we are taking in a relatively compact class, a class size of around 80 students per year. And their year of experience is around 6 years, with an average age of 29 years old. Of course, we also welcome candidates who are slightly younger or even more senior than this average age. So more so important is because your mentality to launch a new career and get ready for the change. And in terms of the GMAT, this is a compulsory requirement for our MBA program. For in 3 recent years, 650 will be the average GMAT. But GMAT, once again, this is only an indicator of your readiness to join an higher education. This is not a single factor that will decide whether you would be admitted into our program or not. So later on, I will share a little bit more about the admission requirement of our MBA program. And of course, in terms of the diversity, not only we have MBA friends from India joining our program, we also have more than 96% of non-local students joining our MBA program. And we have a relatively balanced class, 34% of female students represented in our MBA class. So if you are really motivated, and also for female candidates who look for change, a new career chapter in Asia, then HKUST will be definitely one of your school choice. Okay, just allow me to expand a little bit more about the people side of our MBA program. So Christopher, you already mentioned that we have a dedicated alumni team, grooming the relationship of our more than 5,000 alumni around the world, representing more than 65 nationalities. So our specified alumni team, they have been built, or they have been tasked to organize activities with very, very important principle is to build a sense of support among our community members, to encourage and also foster experience exchange within a worldwide network. So in this particular year, this is also the first year that we roll out our first virtual alumni hub, connecting our alumni across the world with our current MBA students. So with this platform, very easily, you will be able to just connect or maybe just message to our alumni and elsewhere or in industry that you are interested to join after the MBA program. This is really a very effective approach for you to connect with our MBA alumni around the world. And at the same time, we also organize regular activities, inviting our alumni to come back to school to share the insights about the industry or even their career journey. So this is not only limited to physical occasion, but these days, with the help of technology, we have been organizing alumni sharing series every month. So inviting alumni working in different parts of the world, Vietnam, working in different industry like healthcare industry, insurance, different parts of industry and geography to share their own personal experience with our MBA students. And we also welcome our alumni from across the world to join this session as well. And of course, not to mention, when situation allows, we will be organizing physical reunions, networking, and also alumni nights to build up the sense of belonging and also keep our bonding within our new alumni and also our seasoned alumni intact. So this is how we want to grow MBA at HKUST as a family and also building lifelong connection for everyone who is joining this family. Okay, so now I'm going to step into the second part of this session, which is a very interactive dialogue with two of our gentlemen tonight, Christopher and Mia, because both of them is coming in ready to share with us their own expertise, both in terms of the career support and also Amir in terms of his own MBA journey with HKUST. So I would first like to invite to call upon Christopher to share a little bit about his insight in the industry and also the job market. Okay, so the first question that I want to invite Christopher to elaborate a little more will be, you as the career head, what have you observed as in the latest employment trend in Asia or even in Hong Kong? And for candidates who are totally new to Asia, new to Hong Kong, what do you think would be the essential skills for them to land a job then? So Christopher, can you share with us?
Yeah, so basically, I probably will be sharing more from, on a day-to-day basis, what I learn from the employers that I come across. In MBA is a very broad thing, and different students actually come from different background, and also, they look for different things as well. They might be at different stage of career. So I would try to, generalize like what I observe. In Asia, the MBA job market, I would say, is quite different from probably from the US. Is more niche, I would say. We don't have, usually we have a smaller program, thus, compared to other US program, we might not have a large scale on-campus presence for a lot of employers. So it will be more niche, but having said that, we still have, um, specific employers that look for MBA students. For example, a couple of companies coming to my mind, in terms of investment bank, they might be scaling back on the investment banking side business. They hire more analysts, but on the other hand, some functions like one of the banks, they have a treasury solution more on the product management side and technology related, but it's an investment bank. So that there are some, opportunities for MBA students. On the other hand, a couple of consulting firm, are open to MBA student to apply for, and also increasing, we see more boutique consulting firm that are open to MBA student with relevant experience, or transferable skills, really, and we shouldn't omit the regional headquarters being in Hong Kong and Singapore. Multinationals that have regional headquarters or functions in Hong Kong, usually they have a strategic unit on several verticals or function that presents the opportunity for MBA students as well. And a lot of times, students ask me whether being in Hong Kong, speaking Cantonese or Mandarin is a must. I would say it depends, really. If you go on, into the central business area, you still see a lot of business people, expats, from non-Hong Kong. It doesn't speak the word in Cantonese, but multinational companies usually are more open as well. I think it's something related to the culture of different companies. In our experience, some multinational companies, in particular, a couple of employers that work very closely with us. They do look into the transferable skills and potential of MBA student potentially taking up management or senior management position in their firms in future. So as MBA student coming into Hong Kong or Asia as a whole, I think there are several things to probably you can bear in mind. MBA to employers, they look into you in mainly few things, probably your potential, become a future leader, also your previous experience. If there's something that you can leverage on with your experience, say for example, your data analytical skills or software, capacity in a certain, areas and helping companies to solve problem. That is something you should leverage, and should sell to the employers. Also, the corporate culture, fitting in, sometimes it's a consideration of Hong Kong employers as well. Some challenge for expats or foreign students, you might be competing for same job with, local players who might or might not have an MBA. So sometimes, how to really show that you have a good understanding of what's happening in Hong Kong, and the business context, for a certain industry that you're looking at. So I think that's something very, very important to bear in mind. And, during your time in Hong Kong, within the MBA program, you're very encouraged to really network with, different business contexts. And, we have part-time MBA students or even master student. I think it's good, like melting pot for exchange, to learn about the culture. The more you understand about Asia and Hong Kong, what business needs are here, the more likely and the faster you'll see success. In terms of essential skills, I think some soft skills and some company I come across, some employers mention that MBA student, as a whole, they know strategy, they learn about strategy, how to really enhance operations, but they want to see someone who can come into the firm and be able to push people, understand different stakeholders, what do they care about in the company, and align goals really. So it's a people skills that is very important, for if you want to be a future leaders that fit in, the company, certain employers' future talent pipeline for senior management. Something, the people skills is something you should, develop. And I think in the MBA setting, we have very good training in letting you to having a simulation on a daily basis and in the work environment as group projects and, business competition. We need to prioritize together with other group mates and students, to come up with result in a short span of time. So that is simulating the actual business environment. On the other hand, some common, requirement from the employer side, for example, some data analytical tools, is some company sought after skills, for example, Tableau and Power BI. A lot of companies are looking for students with skills in, utilizing those as well in the daily job basis. Amelia, you're a data analytics guru. Maybe later you can chip in on this part.
Yeah, thank you so much, Christopher. You actually have highlighted quite a number of in-demand skill set and also the market trends within Asia for the audience. So probably I changed the question a little bit. When you talk a lot about trends and also the skills that required from the employer side. So you asked our head of MBA career and also alumni team. So how does our MBA career support actually stay relevant to keep our MBA students relevant to what you have just mentioned? On those trends and all the skills that required.
Okay. Yeah. This is a part that our team, I think, we are quite passionate in, developing, training workshops, that is relevant to the latest job market. For example, I think since Amir left, I think around a year or so ago, right? But afterwards, even a short period of time, we try to, revamp our career training program. Quite a bit already. For example, increasingly we see that students are interested in areas like product management, but in Hong Kong, it might be quite difficult to find people with the relevant skills or experience. So we turn to Silicon Valley. We have developed a relationship with platform that has real product managers as career coach. And they provide training to students. It's something happening already. We run the pilot last year, and now we are providing this product management coaching. With real product managers from companies like Google, Amazon, Waymo, the autonomous driving company. So those students currently in the batch has got access to career coaching from the people from Silicon Valley. I think that's partly relevant to the latest adoption of Zoom and other virtual technologies as well. It makes it much more easier for arranging this kind of stuff, and we kind of grab this opportunity to make it happen. On the other hand, we provide Scrum training. Student got foundation to Scrum Master level 1. That I think is something a lot of technology companies nowadays are looking for people with exposure or to Scrum, and that's something very that we started really with the latest intake 2020. That they got a 2 full-day Scrum training, and we're actually looking to provide more. So that's how we learn from employers what they need, and also we learn from alumni like Amaya and others, to see what they see on the ground, what skills are needed, and we blend into the program as a whole. And for other industries like banking and finance, we provide very extensive financial modeling training and career coaching from investment bankers. So that's what we provide as whole. I try to generalize as a snapshot, but we have several structure training for different key industry that most MBA students would like to join after the MBA.
Yeah, thank you so much, Christopher. And for audience who is watching this session live, then I noticed that you have posed quite a number of questions. So be patient because we're going to have a dedicated open Q&A session for you all, addressing your question at the same time. So now I'm going to turn our spotlight to another guest of tonight, which is Amir. So Amir is our class of 2020 graduate, and he is currently working in Apple in Singapore. So I think, I want to call upon, Amir to share with us, first of all, from your memory, how was your MBA life in Hong Kong? And very importantly, I think already some friends already online, they are asking, is Mandarin or even Cantonese a must for you to survive in Hong Kong or even find jobs in the Greater China area? Could you share your experience with us, please, Amir?
Yes, of course. Actually, that's a very good question, and it's hard to summarize that in a sentence or so. So, because it was almost a year of MBA for me, and because I didn't have enough international experience, there was a lot to take in that 1 year. So I would say that MBA experience for me in that 1 year was quite eventful and a life-changing event. There were courses that I was exposed to. There were internships that I was new to. There were certain kind of people that I met from all walks of life I was new to. So I would say there was so much learning in that 1 year that I grew as a person and as a professional both simultaneously. For me, I had to wrap up my MBA in 12 months. That was my target, which I had come out with. So getting some sort of experience through internship was also quite essential. So a typical MBA, like an MBA day, would involve me spending some time in classes, 3-4 hours in classes, going for my internship for about half a day, and then probably spending some time on group projects as well at night, working with teams to wrap up some of the assignments as well. And also spare some time for networking events, which I think is highly underappreciated, but the importance of networking events is so essential that they were quite critical for me to attend. So I also made it a point in my entire MBA journey to attend as many networking events as possible, for the simple reason that you're exposed to so many industry leaders, professionals in those events, that you really get a first-hand experience of what they're going through, what are the industry trends, and you can really ask them all kind of questions that you may have in person. So I think, to sum it up, MBA life was quite a quite a life-changing event in my life, and yes, something that I'll probably remember for the rest of my life. And to answer the second question, I think Chris touched upon that topic, but I'll just probably elaborate a bit on that. I'm not a Mandarin speaker, but I think you really have to think about this job to job, function to function, industry to industry, and geography to geography. Because for me, the kind of internship that I chose, although I was dealing with markets in China, in Taiwan, however, the kind of function, the kind of role, responsibility that I was given really entailed working with teams internally in company itself. So that meant that there were a lot of English speakers around me. So that wasn't so much of a problem for me. However, there could be roles wherein you're absolutely in a client-facing role where you have to speak Chinese, especially those client-facing roles such as marketing, business development, where companies are probably have their headquarters based in China. So you may have to speak a bit of Chinese, speak a bit of Mandarin. So I think you have to really slice down every job and see what really is the requirement. There are jobs which require Mandarin, but then if they really think that you really want this job because you value yourself to be working here, you have the other skills that are required to be working in this particular job, companies don't mind making an exception for you in that case. They really would see your passion and then would still recruit you. So I would say it's essential, but for most of the times, it's actually not that important to have that skill. But yes, it is essential, to say the least.
Okay, thank you so much, Amia. I think we still have some more questions to ask you. Okay, the second kind of question. So actually in your explanation, you already touched on a little bit. You invite our future candidates to make good use of the networking session to meet the industry professional, etc. And also seek help and also seek support from our career team. So what was your experience with the MBA career coach and probably other support that you have leveraged on during your time?
So with the good thing about this particular part of MBA is that career coaches are aware about the latest trends in job market, what's happening, if there's any update in the kind of interviews that are taken typically. So if you are part of these sessions periodically, what you do is you get updated of what kind of jobs that are coming in. If employers are changing the patterns of how they take interviews, um, if there's something which is not working out for you, they probably do a sort of a demo interview, sort of a mock-up interview with you, and they try to assess what's going wrong, what are the things that are working right, and probably you should not change. So this entire coaching sessions really help you to assess of where do you stand and probably improve on it. I used to be part of them every month or so, and probably spend time with different kind of career coaches who had different insights to give me. And I would take the best out of every career coach and sort of compile them together and try to work on my skills, interviewing skills, my communication skills, presentation skills, because these are the things the career coaches have worked a lot upon with a lot of different candidates. So they've amassed this kind of experience in them, and they have so much to offer to you that I think these are very invaluable sessions that I took. And also networking events, because these career coaches are also going across into various networking events. They also sort of take in various inputs from different people, different leaders, and they throw it out to you in those sessions. They probably would say, hey, I spoke to so and so person yesterday and told me a very unique thing about this company. They're probably hiring at some point of time. Maybe you want to look into that sometime. So I think these kind of tips, they go a long way. And something which is very, I think, crucial at HKUST and something to watch out for sure.
Okay, thank you so much, Amia. I'm sure that, when I was reading your story, how you transform yourself by doing different networking activities, I definitely feel very motivated and kind of very touched because you have put in so much energy and also effort in making this whole thing possible. And, another question. So indeed, in your talking part, you already mentioned that you took internship, but in the internship is more internally that is covering about even China market, and some job that you actually learn a lot from it, and also that kind of help you to enable you to land your full-time job in Apple. So can you share with our audience what was your job search experience? It can be internship or even your current role in Apple. What would be your strategy? And if you are comfortable, share with us
Yeah.
some of your interview tips perhaps.
Yeah, of course. So as I said before, I lacked international experience before coming to Hong Kong for my MBA. So the most important objective for me to do an internship was to get that international experience in my CV. Because even though I may have the right skills, I may not be culturally exposed to a lot of diverse teams. So with this particular internship, what it did was I was able to work in diverse teams with people with different walks of life. And what that did for my interview with Apple was that they could see this guy has worked with in Hong Kong in a in a multinational company like Funk Group and L'Oreal that I worked with, and has worked in such kind of roles. So he has worked with cross-functional teams, and also he probably would be aware, he would be very comfortable in talking to people of various backgrounds. So I think that did help. And certainly the kind of roles that I did take up, that also was in parallel to kind of courses that I was doing. So I took certain courses which were so relevant to the kind of job that I was doing. So it worked out pretty well for me because at the same time that I was learning something, I could simultaneously apply it to my internship as well. So I think when I appeared for my Apple interview, I could quote some of the things that I learned from my internships, from my courses, which the recruiters really appreciated. And coming back to actually how I got the Apple job, that's quite an interesting story actually, and something which is very close to my heart. So Apple had come for a talk at the campus, and I I was pretty adamant on attending all the networking events, as I mentioned to you. So when I was in the talk, I actually made a point to speak to every speaker out there and get to know what they're looking at and from their candidates. Are there particular kind of skills that they probably need or something? At the time when I spoke to them, they probably didn't have anything available for me. But this one HR, she remembered my name. She knew what kind of objectives that I had in career, what are the skills that I had, and then she reached out to me about 2 months later, saying that, "Hey, Ame, we have this role opening for you. It suits you. You're an ideal candidate for this. Would you like to sit for an interview with us?" I was like, "Sure. Send me the job description. I'll have a look at it and get back to you." And when I saw the job description, it was fitting perfectly well. It was exactly the kind of job that I was looking at. And I was amazed that a company like Apple, where are like thousands of people applying every day, they really look at every candidate in detail. So this made me realize the value of networking events even more, how critical they are. It's sort of like a pre-interview session wherein a recruiter might just meet you and get a overall assessment of how you are as a candidate, and probably would recommend you to some other team as well, like probably not for his or her own team, but for some other team. So I think you have to value these networking events a lot. You don't know how things could turn out after you attend one of them. So yeah, I think networking events a must go, and staying, as Chris mentioned, you have to stay updated with the latest trends in the job market. Uh, People may have sufficient skills in terms of technical skills, but soft skills is what really makes you stand apart from the crowd, because um, this is something which you don't learn in 1 day or 2 days, right? You need to spend time, and getting practical experience of it is must to learn them as quickly as possible. And internship, of course, was one way of doing that.
Okay, thank you so much, Amir. And I think the memory of meeting the Apple representative is going to be in your heart, almost like forever, because it's so, I wouldn't say magical, but that is something that you have been paving your way. You have been so adamant in attending all the networking opportunities, and that gave you a chance to meet with the Apple representative back then. Yeah. Okay, so as I promised to the audience, so we are going to have an open Q&A session with Amir and also Christopher. So I'm going to read out some of the questions that already in the chat box in our YouTube Live. So the first question will be probably directing to Christopher. Christopher, so one of our audience, Navis, he's interested to know more about the MBA opportunity in the insurance sectors. So can you share a little bit with us?
Okay, interestingly, I think we have in the past few years we have been working with one of the New York listed insurance company who happened to a few years ago they start replicating their MBA leadership program in the US to Asia, and I think because of the branding and reputation of HKUST, and of course the how and the networking part, we build a very good relationship, and they start hiring from HKUST at the very beginning. And and the long story short, I think we have built a very strong relationship with this insurance company to at least 10 to 12 students graduates already had their internship there as a global leadership program. And I think more than 60-70% of those students got converted into full-time rotational program for I think 4 to 5 years post MBA, and landed a job at the director level. A lot of these roles have this strategic angle, for different countries or emerging market, or a strategy for digitalization for a certain part of the business. It's very fruitful, very well received program, and we are honored in HKST to be one of the I think only Asia school to be partnered with them. So it's greatly honor representing HKUST. On the other hand, on insurance side, not every insurance company are having a leadership program like this, but we increasingly see that students can join those insurance company with the there's several areas. For example, we see that more on the product management side, for example, if they're trying to have a digitalized product, maybe wearables to measure your health data, that that kind of new initiative, we see that they're trying to look for MBA students as well. We just come across similar job roles recently. And on the other hand, strategy angle, like what Amir mentioned, several companies, if they have a function, that is something possible as well. Although the leadership program, it depends, sometimes it changes or fluctuates in terms of the volume of the hiring, but I think at HKUST we have a very in a very good position that we are in conversation with these companies to always keep track on what kind of job openings or potential opportunities they're looking at, and we can sort of help to make the connection. Yeah, so this is a very, very brief introduction about the history on the insurance. Is a very relevant question because of history as well.
Okay, thank you so much, Christopher. The next question is probably directed to Amir, because Amir, you briefly talk about that learning Mandarin will be really pretty much based on role specific or even geographical specific on the MBA career plan. So what do you think about how about Cantonese? Is it a must if you have to get a job in Hong Kong? Based on your experience working in Li & Fung or even L'Oreal, because you took this into internship in Hong Kong.
I would say Cantonese is important, yes, to get a job is important, but probably not as much as learning Mandarin, right? Because I think when Mandarin, just with the scale of people speaking it, I think it opens up much more opportunities for you. Cantonese could be important if you're looking for jobs which are specific to B2C, business to customer, wherein you have to probably interact with probably the end consumer a bit through marketing initiatives or get some insights from them. But I do feel like it's not as important as probably learning Mandarin. So if you have to choose between learning these two languages, I would personally go for Mandarin, because it's given the scale of people speaking it, number of people speaking it, it probably draws much more value, I would say.
Okay. So there's actually one more question for you, Amir. It's actually coming from one of our friends who is having an engineering background. So would you recommend actually someone with an engineering background? Would that be a really big hurdle to join the tech industry after the MBA program?
Somebody from engineering background? I don't think so. I think it's the other way around. Somebody from engineering background would probably find it much easier and would have much wider roles to apply for in tech industry. Because if you're doing an MBA, you not only just have the technical skills, you also have the business skills to apply in a tech company. And given that today's tech companies are so big, they're probably about 20% of S&P in today's world. So that means that they have roles in every aspect, maybe marketing, maybe finance, maybe operations. So you are not probably could be restricted to hardware or software. You would probably have opportunities to apply in even other business units of a company. It could be marketing as well. So I would probably say it's the other way around. If you have an engineering degree, you will have a much more you have a broader sort of roles to apply to in a tech company.
Okay. So thank you so much, Amir, for sharing your insight with us. So I'm going to address one of the questions from our audience, KP. He or maybe she is asking, are there any barriers in the student visa for HKUST MBA program? So I would have to say that, while we are being part of China, but the immigration policy, we are independent as the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region. So we do not discriminate candidates from India. So long as you, first of all, get the admission offer for our MBA program and provide the required documentation from required by the Hong Kong Immigration Department, then I would say that almost 95% of the time you will be able to get a student visa to study an MBA in Hong Kong. Yeah, I hope that will give more comfort to your audience online. And at the same time, and during my presentation, I already highlighted that once after graduation from our full-time MBA program, the favorable work visa policy in Hong Kong allows you to stay in Hong Kong for 12 months. So 12 months, that's the only time limit. So you can maximize it by finding different job opportunities in Hong Kong or even within Asia with this favorable work policy. Okay, and then KP also had questions regarding the percentage of international students in our MBA class. So as I said, we have 96% of international candidates, and the percentage of Indian applicants, I would say that for every year, roughly, we would have around 20 to 30% of Indian students in our class, depending on the quality of the students. We're not setting a cap or even a bottom line for those who will be joining our MBA program from India, but rather we are looking into the overall fit into the program. And perhaps, Amia, from your memory, roughly how many percentage of the class is actually, Indian? Because I know that some of your friends actually, they study in US, but still holding an Indian passport. So, your year, how many percentage are, 100% Indian then? Do you still remember, Amia? Oh, Amia, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. I'm saying I didn't get that question. Could you repeat that?
Okay, so the question is, KP is interested to know, how many percentage of the full-time MBA class is coming from India. So my comment is that every year, around 20 to 30% of the candidates are from India.
Yes,
depending on
I think you're close. Yeah, you're close.
So for a year?
Yeah, I think about 20% is about the ballpark number that we get from India. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, indeed, every year we are recruiting students from different parts of the world, be it India, China, Europe, or even US. We have different students coming over to Hong Kong to pursue the MBA. So don't worry that we're going to have a good balance in mind, and we also look for a diverse student body rather than having a single nationality of students occupying most seats of the class, because that would defeat our principle and also our mission of building a diverse MBA community. Okay, yeah, so in the interest of time, perhaps I can only pick one more questions because I do want to share a little bit more about our MBA program, particularly the admission side with all of you. Okay, let me go down the list. Okay, so indeed, one of our candidates is asking about, can the admitted students carry or sponsor a spouse partner to live with him or her? So this is more related to the accommodation part of the MBA program. Okay, number one, our MBA program, we do offer accommodation for our students, but this is only for our students, it's for single room. And for candidates who are coming to Hong Kong with their family or partners or even children, then we would recommend you to find a place near our campus. So don't worry, our admission team, once you are admitted, we will be happy to share with you some real estate contacts for you to be in touch and find a suitable place for you to settle in with your family. And indeed, even for some of our students, if they are coming to Hong Kong by their own, some of them actually prefer to live a little bit off campus. So I think it's all personal decision. And I would say that, coming to live in our campus, it will be very convenient to you because that will be only 5 minutes walk from the accommodation from our to our classes where it happens. Okay. Yeah, so I am going to allow me to share my screen once more because I'm going to cover some of the admission requirements for our MBA program. Okay, just a moment. So if friends on the line, if you have any question, always feel free to email us at mba@ust.hk because I understand that this session is relatively short. So if you have questions, drop us an email. So the last part of our session tonight, I'm going to share with you the admission criteria. So for our full-time MBA program, we are looking for candidates holding a bachelor's degree with minimum 2 years of full-time work experience, and mandatory for GMAT exam. And if you will be also consider you for MBA program if you have seated for a GRE program. So I want to give more assurance to friends on the line, because I know that some of you are still preparing for your GMAT exam. So don't worry. So what you have to do is to indicate your test date in your application. We would still consider and also review your application. And at best, an ideal case, if you're being shortlisted and invited for admission interview, we would issue a conditional offer to you, subject to the fact that you provide a satisfactory GMAT score to us. And because our program was going to be 100% taught in English, so we also require sufficient English proficiency. So if your undergraduate, postgraduate education, the medium of instruction wasn't English, then we would have to invite you to take either IELTS or TOEFL exam to prove your English proficiency. Okay, so a little bit of gentle reminder, if you're looking to apply for a full-time MBA program in 2021, starting this fall semester, it will be, the upcoming deadline will be March 17th. But I would strongly encourage candidates, if you are looking to secure your seats earlier, do submit your application anytime when you're ready, because we are reviewing our application on a rolling basis. And there's also another perks of submitting your application earlier. It will be with regards to the scholarship support. So for full-time MBA students, we have a variety of scholarships supporting bright minds from around the world, be it from you are coming from the business technology side, from the consulting side, or even you are coming from India. We also have specific award and scholarship supporting students from these different areas to join our MBA program. So no specific additional application material will be required. All you have to do is to fill out our online application form, and all candidates will be automatically considered for scholarship based on your profile. And a little bit more into the financial support for our MBA program. So this is a pandemic year. We do want to extend our great support to candidates. So if you happen to know someone coming from our HKUST MBA or EMD alumni family, so invite them to be your referee and have them to write a referee for you, because that would entitle you to join our community succession scheme. And this scheme would give you 3 important benefits. First of all, that will be enjoying an application fee waiver, guarantee admission interview, and also tuition fee reduction upon successful enrollment into our full-time MBA program. So there's a QR code on the screen, so feel free to scan it, and it will take you directly to our community succession scheme page, give you more details and also the steps and procedures in applying to this scheme. Okay, yeah, so a little more of a wrap up about the HKUST MBA program. Once again, we have been in the top 20 MBA program for 13 consecutive years. In Asia, we also have in mind that we also providing the most internationalized learning experience, and of course, career support to our students. We are being one of the most advanced MBA programs in Asia with a strong focus in business meeting technology. And not to mention that our flexible and practical curriculum will be best fit for candidates who are looking for a career switch. And lastly, and it's also the most important part, HKUST, we are giving you the lifelong network. You will be joining not only a 16-month program, but you are joining a lifelong connection within the HKUST MBA family. Okay, so if you are now convinced that you want to know even deeper about our MBA program, I would strongly recommend you to schedule a one-on-one consultation with our admission advisor. And if you are also keen to join our future 3 events with regards to our MBA program, and also be connected with more very promising candidates and also alumni like MBA, feel free to subscribe to our e-news and also check out our latest calendar, because that would be very important for you to get to know the most important and most updated information about our MBA program, and that will facilitate you in your MBA decision. And of course, we also will be sharing some of our tips in how to ace the interview and even how to get a seat in the HKUST MBA program throughout the events that we're going to roll out in the coming few months. Okay, yeah, so pick up your phone and scan the QR code for the category that you are interested in. And also this year with technology, we also invited a number of our student ambassadors to be on our exclusive instant messaging platform. So Amir, he is an alumni. He was very happy to share our experience with us now. But we also have a lot more current students who are keen to share the experience in Hong Kong with you. So scan the QR code for a full-time MBA program, and then that will lead you to the interactive instant messaging platform. So me, myself, is also on this platform. So feel free to find me and also chat with me on your admission or even your MBA application. All right, this is the last part of our session tonight. So anytime if you have questions regarding our MBA program, always feel free to drop us an email. You can even place us a call if you want to have a direct interaction with our admission team. And a lot more information that you're going to explore and find out in our official website, mba.usd.hk. And I have specifically highlighted the blue website on this page. This is our MBA online application portal. So if you're ready to take a faith of leap and ready to unfold your new career in the coming year, do apply to HKUST MBA program before March 17th. Okay? Thank you so much for attending the session today. And then on behalf of the HKUST, I wish you all will stay healthy, stay positive, and also hope to see you very soon in our Clearwater Bay campus in Hong Kong. Okay, and thank you once more to Christopher and Amia joining us today. And friends online, hope to see you real soon.
Thank you so much.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Thanks for coming.